So a healthy exotic animal is one that is living in an environment that is very, very appropriate for them. That means the temperature, that means the humidity, that means the diet. And do you know that most of the disease states we see with reptiles have to do with inappropriate diet, have to do with not enough vitamins, have to do with not enough calcium, have to do with not enough UVB light. And one of the most common signs, which is pretty nonspecific, but has to do with lethargy. A happy exotic animal, a happy reptile, would be one who's moving in their environment, who's eating vigorously, who's sunning themselves. And of course, there's such a wide variety of exotic animals and reptiles that can be our pets that it's pretty hard to cover them all in one fell swoop. But each one of them has a normal way of living. We need to find out what that is, provide them with their needs. And if they're not eating, think about it. There's snakes sometimes that don't eat for a year, and that might not be a concern. There's other animals that if they don't eat for 20 minutes might be a concern. Well, that's a big, big difference. You know, one hint I have for reptile owners, which I would encourage you to consider, is to get a little scale, a weigh scale appropriate for this animal's size. And once a month, weigh them. Because a lot of times when we get exotics that are inappetent or not eating, we want to have some kind of objective data to go on. And very oftentimes I'll ask clients, well, have they lost any weight? And you know what the answer usually is? I don't know. And you can believe me, if we ask her, she's not going to tell us either. But objective data like a regular weigh once a month can be a very helpful bit of information that we can use to determine how significant any abnormality with these animals is. So again, like usual, it's an astute and observant owner that is usually the first able to note sign of problems. Because the reptile interaction with people is not the same as a dog interaction with people. But an observant owner will be one that's able to see and note when something is not quite right. And especially with exotics, when something is not quite right, it's important to get that dealt with right away. Because many of these exotics don't show signs of problems till they're very advanced. And the reason is because very, very often they might be prey for another animal. So they can't show in the wild any type of lethargy or problem because they'd probably be eaten. So find out what is appropriate, watch very carefully. If something is amiss, let's get on it and figure it out and help them.